Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of Boro Tailgate Talks. I think it's episode 54. I think I screwed up the episode because we set up the live stream link today, so I may have got the number wrong. Yeah, so let's get into some.
Oh, wait.
No.
No. You're going to like this one, all right? I wanted to wait to tell you this so that all the viewers can see it at the same time.
All right, what is it?
Got some new equipment that we're going to be able to use on the
really?
show.
Oh, really?
So
Really?
I'm going to grab it right now and display it for the whole audience to
Interesting.
see.
Interesting.
Alrighty.
Okay.
Let me grab
Oh,
this.
it's a big bag.
Oh, yep. Let me unzip this guy and grab the. Here you go. There you go. Yeah.
You're joking.
Nope. Just gonna set that.
So what do I owe this pleasure of putting these on once again?
Well, Richie already fined you, but we figured that missing a couple F-bombs on the show was a fine wasn't quite enough punishment. We didn't think you really learned your lesson from that, so you get to wear those today. It never gets old. Never gets old.
The March Madness special really meant nothing, I guess. All right. Just having a good day today.
Sports!
Sports.
Rah.
Steelers.
Jesus. Is this really what we're opening with?
Yes. They got destroyed by the
Really
Houston
bad.
Texans.
30-6.
I hate Pittsburgh football this year. I really do.
So, are we talking about our first question topic then?
If you want to, go ahead.
All right. Doing some question topics today because I like them and I think they're cool and I actually remember them this week. Because I usually think of them while I'm watching games and looking at scores and then I just forget to write them down. First one. What are the expectations for the Steelers for the rest of the year? I don't even know what they are anymore.
Okay, we'll say this. Kenny's knee is not torn. It's not a torn ACL.
Which is very good.
He will be out for a few weeks. All right. But next week against the Ravens, with Mitch starting.
Who, by the way, just walked into Cleveland and won 28-3. They look really good.
The expectation, I'm going to say this because I did read a tweet from Cody. Have your opinion about it if you want. He thinks the Steelers should tank and go for Caleb Williams. Cody, I'm sorry. No. Just no. No. We're doing. Are we doing this again? Not to say Kenny has been playing well. He has not been playing well.
I'm starting to get really worried.
Whatsoever. But it is time to get worried. However, no.
This is all I'm going to say to that. It's very early in the season, so things can get a lot better. These are Kenny Pickett's season stats so far. Kenny is 77 for 127 on pass attempts. He has 803 yards, 4 touchdowns, 4 picks, and a 76.3 passer rating. There is another quarterback in the NFL who is 72 for 123 for 712 yards, also 4 touchdowns and 4 interceptions, and he has a 72.3 passer rating. You want to guess who that other quarterback is?
Is he a rookie?
Nope.
Is it Josh Dobbs?
Zach Wilson.
Now wait a minute.
PFF's 32nd rated quarterback in the entire league.
Now wait a minute. Wait. What about Zach Wilson last night?
That is another topic. We will talk about that.
Yeah, we will. However, we're still on the Steelers. So Kenny got knocked out in the fourth, injured his knee. He was 15 for 23, 114 at that time. Najee carried the ball 14 times for 71 yards. Jalen Warren 8 for 29.
Najee actually averaging 5 yards per carry is literally insane.
George Pickens, he got the ball 3 times for 25 yards. Calvin Austin 3 for 24.
I was gonna say Najee was our leading receiver. He had a singular 32-yard catch.
That's true. I wrote down the stats for the Texans. I, for some reason, didn't write down Pierce or Singletary stats. Whatever. CJ Stroud was 16 for 30 for 306.
Yeah, he's got the second most passing yards in his first 4 games of all time.
Mm-hmm.
Cam Newton's the only player to have more passing yards in his first 4 games as a quarterback in the NFL by like 100 yards. They only had 225 total yards against the Texans defense, which is 40 yards less than the second least amount of yards. The Ravens in week 1 had 265 yards. Who was it in week 2? The Colts had 353 yards, and the Jaguars had 404 yards. So the Steelers, by far, have had the least amount of offensive yards against the Texans' defense so far this year, which is horrible. The team is 25th in team offense and 24th in team defense. We still haven't had a single 400-yard offensive performance in Matt Canada's tenure as the offensive coordinator. My expectations for this team are on the floor. I don't expect them to do anything at this point. They're 2-2. Going into their game yesterday, they were first in the division. I don't know what to expect from this team because everyone keeps saying on Twitter and on Instagram, there's so many things wrong with this team. Roster-wise, there's really not.
No, there's not.
The secondary's kind of thin, and the linebackers are kind of thin, but the defensive line is great. The offensive line is good enough. The skill position on the offense is so deep. I don't understand why this team is so bad. There's no way that Matt Canada himself can be holding this team back so much. It is so infuriating to see them play football. I didn't watch the game yesterday. I don't know what to think of this football team this year.
Yeah.
Because at this point, well, we're not gonna assume anything, but if Kenny does finish on this trajectory and plays this way the entire season, the Steelers will be one of the 10 teams in the NFL that will be potentially looking at drafting a quarterback next year.
Possibly.
And there's a lot that could be drafted. We could genuinely see like 5 quarterbacks go in the top 10 or 15 this year. Like we could see a lot of quarterbacks go in this draft. Especially if a lot of them keep playing well. Shadur's not going to declare this year, so he won't be one of them. But you've got Caleb, obviously, Drake May, Michael Penix, Sam Hartman. You know, there's a ton of them. Jackson Dart from Ole Miss. Did I say Bo Nix yet? I don't think I said Bo Nix yet. There's a ton. There's a lot of really. Quinn Ewers is probably quarterback 3 in this draft class at this point. Again, that's if he declares. I don't know. I don't know what this team is. I don't know what's wrong with this team besides Matt Canada. Honestly, I think the entire coaching staff needs a reset. I think we need an offensive-minded head coach.
We'll get to those the Pitt. No. Oh.
In my opinion, that's what we need: an offensive-minded head coach and a better offensive coordinator. We need. I'm trying to think of who would be up for a promotion and to be hired as an OC. I mean, Mike Tomlin's not going to get fired.
No, we won't.
Unless we go like 4-13 this year.
Which I don't think we will.
No, we never will. We never will. We will be dragged to mediocrity every single year.
And then his non-losing season record.
Uh,
The standard is the standard.
Before Frank Reich got the head coaching job in Carolina, I wanted him to be our offensive coordinator, but of course we didn't fire Matt Canada. So, to put a definitive answer for my expectation this year for the Steelers, I expect them to suck, but somehow finish 9-8.
At some point, you gotta say enough's enough and be like, you got a winning season. Let's make the playoffs and win. At some point.
We haven't won a playoff game since like 2016. We need to win a playoff game.
God.
That's what we need to do. We need to be able to beat a Jacksonville or Chargers or a team like that. A Jets team that slips into the playoffs. Something. We need to beat somebody in the playoffs.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Exactly. I think I'll save the Pirates for the last so we could just stick on the football train.
Yeah, it's...
Plus, it's probably the last baseball stuff I'll talk about until we have a World Series champion. Is there anything else in the NFL you want to talk about? Oh, Zach Wilson.
Yeah, we'll move on to our next question topic. First of all, I want to see... Yeah, we're going to go through the top 13 quarterbacks in this upcoming draft class, just for fun. Cam Ward from Washington State. Washington State is like 6-0 right now or whatever. They're doing really good. Not a lot of people know about him. Austin Reed out of Western Kentucky. Western Kentucky quarterbacks always put up great numbers. Bailey Zappi came out of there. Number 11, LSU's Jaden Daniels. I missed him. Jack Plummer from Louisville at number 10. Sam Hartman from Notre Dame at 9. Spencer Rattler at 8 from South Carolina. Psych. 7, Tyler Van Dyke from Miami. 6, Michael Pratt from Tulane. 5, Mike Penix from Washington. 4, Jordan Travis from Florida State. 3, Joe Milton, Tennessee. 2, Devin Leary, Kentucky. And 1, Bo Nix, Oregon. I don't know where like Caleb Williams or any of those other guys are. I guess this is assuming they don't declare. We're not going to, yeah. That's a little strange. Okay, you know what? We're going to go with this one. We're going to forget about that one. Riley Leonard from Duke's been balling. Why are there so many ads on this? Number 10, Riley Leonard. Why is this all... This is getting annoying. Anyway, you get it. This draft class is deep. There's a lot of quarterbacks. There are a lot of potential guys. I don't know that the Steelers are going to draft a quarterback this year, especially if they finish 9-8 or better. If they make the playoffs, I wouldn't. That's kind of dumb to me, unless you really think that you can get like a really good quarterback. But like,
I'm gonna be real.
The chances of that are like next to nothing.
I'm gonna be real. It is not in the Steelers' MO.
No, it's definitely not.
To give up on somebody that quickly.
No, it's most definitely not.
It's just not in their MO. And you know they're not going to fire Tomlin, so you know that's going to shtick. So it is what it is. It is what it is. Because yeah. Though in my personal opinion, I think the Vikings or Cardinals will get Caleb Williams. I think that's how it's going to end up. So.
Or Chicago at this point.
Honestly, yeah, Chicago. Good God. You want to talk about that?
Yeah, I'll get to that later.
Do we need to like? Should we start picking the Broncos now and start picking the Bears to not ever pick?
Honestly, we could.
Nah, I still hate the Broncos. Screw
Me
them.
too.
Yeah.
So we're gonna talk about Zach Wilson because he's been interesting to say the least. Zach Wilson. Do we think that he is making progress and actually working towards becoming a starting caliber quarterback in the NFL?
Yeah. I'm going yes.
I've been bouncing this one a lot. I'm going to say, from what we've seen so far, no.
Really?
It's just he has proven time and time again over the past 2 years that he is not very good. And I want a bigger sample size before I say he's going to be successful in the league. He did have a great game last night, and let me pull up the thing.
That is...
Yeah, Zach Wilson is the only quarterback in college or the NFL so far to have fewer interceptions, more completions, more passing yards, and more passing touchdowns in a game against Patrick Mahomes. So that is the first time ever someone has passed for more yards, more touchdowns, more completions, and less picks than Pat Mahomes in his entire career at Texas Tech and his entire career as a Chief. That's pretty crazy. But Patrick Mahomes did not play a great game last night.
No.
Wilson went 28 for 39 for 245 yards, 2 touchdowns, and a 105.2 passer rating. He played very well last night. They started out super slow. They were down 17-0, but he ended up playing really well. They ended up losing 23-20 at home on pretty much what ended up being a Patrick Mahomes scramble play where every single Chiefs offensive lineman blatantly held, but they called Sauce Gardner for defensive holding instead. Whatever. As I already said, Zach Wilson, 72 for 123, 712 yards, 4 touchdowns, 4 picks on the season. Very similar to Kenny Pickett's stats. He's looking much cleaner. 3 of his interceptions came against the Cowboys in his first full start of the season. And the Cowboys defense still had Trayvon Diggs. They were massacring everybody. They just put up 35 fantasy points on the Giants in primetime. His anticipation and his ball placement are getting a lot better. He was throwing last night, for anyone watching, he was throwing those back shoulder fades like Aaron Rodgers last night. Seriously, the anticipation, the ball placement, putting him in really good spots. Hit a really nice one to Jeremy Ruckert. Hit another really nice one to, I want to say, CJ Uzama on the same drive. I'm pretty sure he threw a back shoulder fade and completed it to every tight end on the roster on the one drive last night. Like, he threw some really nice passes, really looked good, really putting them where only the Jets receiver could get the ball. The Jets need to run the ball more.
Yeah.
I mean, I get it. Chris Jones is there, and, he's in shape now after holding out, so he's, back in it. Karlaftis. There's a lot of good guys on the Chiefs defense who are performing way better than we expected them to by this point. Breece Hall had 56 yards rushing, and he only carried the ball 6 times. Dalvin Cook only got handed the ball 5 times. You can't hand the ball off to your 2 really good running backs a combined 11 times. You got to run the ball more than that. They even switched around the lineup. Elijah Vera Tucker is now playing right tackle instead of guard. You got to run the ball more, Jets. You got to take the pressure off Zach a little bit more, even though he played really well. Zach still just needs to work on throwing the ball away. There are times where he is way outside the pocket, and there's, a perfect chance to throw the ball away, and he just doesn't. He ends up taking the sack instead. So he's got to work on that a little bit, work on the pocket presence a little more, stepping up in the pocket, delivering a strike under pressure, those kind of things. But he's looking a lot better. The Jets' O-line is playing better. He's playing with more anticipation and putting some really nice back shoulder fades out there in one-on-one coverage. So I want to believe in Zach Wilson. And I said this from the moment Aaron Rodgers popped his Achilles in week 1. Zach Wilson looked really solid, besides the pick that he threw when he came in for relief for Aaron Rodgers against the Bills. He looked really good. Then he came out and he played bad against the Cowboys defense, played pretty bad against the Patriots, who just massacre everybody for the most part. So I would say that he's definitely improved. I want to see him play like this more, though.
Yep.
So we'll see how he does. I hope that he improves, because I said from the time that Aaron Rodgers got hurt, he spent the whole offseason under Aaron Rodgers, getting to learn the offense, no pressure, no anything like that. So we'll see how they do. And then what do we want to do all the other NFL stuff?
You can speed through it, sure.
Yeah, we'll speed through it. You can keep it on the wide, Richie. This is fine for this one. I always write down short stuff for this. This is literally every other game that we didn't talk about. Lions smoked the Packers on the road on Thursday Night Football, 34-20. They looked really good. Rams nearly blew a 23-0 lead to the Colts, and Anthony Richardson held on to win in overtime, 29-23 at Indianapolis. Ravens walked into Cleveland, smacked them around 28-3. I continue to have no idea what the heck Deshaun Watson is, if he's even a player. I don't know. Titans at home smoked the Bengals 27-3. They look really bad. I think they might end up being bad this year. Baker throws for 246 and 3 touchdowns in New Orleans to win 26-9. Bills showed they are still top dog in the AFC East, beat the Dolphins 48-20. That was pretty impressive. Bears choked a 28-7 lead at home to the Denver Broncos and lost 31-28.
How?
Matt Eberflus went for it on 4th and 1. instead of kicking a 35-yard field goal to make it 31-28 Chicago, which would have ultimately kept the game tied to go to overtime. Eagles hung on at home to beat the Commies 34-31 in overtime. Chargers nearly chargered yesterday. They were up 24-7, held on to beat Vegas 24-17 because Asante Samuel said, "I am not losing," and picked off a ball in the red zone. Shocker, the Raiders threw a red zone interception. Speaking of the Niners, they humbled the Cardinals and finally reminded them of who they are and won 35-16. Cowboys walked into Foxborough and beat Bill Belichick 38-3. Worst loss in Belichick's career with New England. Vikings avoided 0-4 and beat Carolina 21-13 on the road. The Jags smoked the Falcons at Wembley, a.k.a. the second home stadium for the Jaguars, won 23-7. So,
Gee, I wonder why all in was at Wembley Stadium.
So, a lot of interesting games this week, quite frankly.
Yeah.
Some blown leads. The Rams almost blew the 23-0 one. The Bears did blow the 28-7 one.
But yeah. So I'm actually gonna just speed through the Pirates stuff here, and then tiny bit of Boro, and then rapid fire, and then I'm gonna end on the pit rant.
Oh, let's go. We're ending with a rant today.
More specifically, Pat Narduzzi.
I love when we end with a rant.
All right, so the Pirates did finish off the year against the Marlins. So Friday they lost 4-3. Jake Berger was 2 for 4. Hampson was 2 for 4. Connor Joe was 2 for 3. Endy Rodriguez was 2 for 3. Osvaldo Bido was only in there for an opener. They just wanted to waste innings at this point. Saturday they lost 7-3. This was the game the Marlins clinched their playoff berth, and Jacob Stallings and Josh Bell, former Pirates, got their playoff hopes at PNC Park, just not in a Pirate uniform. So just lovely.
Dang.
Whatever. Soler was 2 for 3. Josh Bell was 2 for 3. Chaz Chisenhome Jr. was 3 for 5. Jared Trillo was 2 for 5. Key Brian Hayes was 2 for 5. And Endy Rodriguez was 3 for 5. From the top of my head, I remember Brian Reynolds' final average of the year was like 262, and then Hayes was 271. So not bad.
Solid enough.
Solid. And then the Pirates actually won their last game of the year in October, 3-0. Connor Joe was 2 for 3, and Andre Jackson was in there for the opener. He pitched 4 innings, gave up 1 hit, and struck out 2. So they won their last game. That's all I can say. I'm just glad the season's over.
They won one more game than we said they needed to
Yeah.
for us to be impressed with the progress. They went 76-86.
Yep,
So.
and it's fine. But you need to be competing next year. Let's just make that clear. You need to be competing next year.
Good for us for setting a one game off standard for their win total this year.
The standard is the standard.
Standard's the standard.
Oh, boy.
Let's go, Buckos!
Oh, yeah, the last one of the year. Buckos! Richie shaking his head no. Can I have a raise? I almost swore again. So the playoff brackets for the AL, in the wild cards, it will be the Blue Jays versus the Twins, and then the Texans. The Rangers and the Rays. The Astros and the Orioles have their first-round byes. And then for the National League, the Diamondbacks and the Brewers, Marlins and Phillies, and then for the first-round byes, the Dodgers and Braves. Shocker.
Braves are nuts.
Yeah. So that is that's the MLB stuff. Probably won't be talking about it unless there's something big that happens in the playoffs. Shohei Ohtani picks a team, which I doubt it because the playoffs are happening.
Probably not.
And yeah, so resign McCutcheon. All right. Bro, they won 40-24, and our guy, Matt Carlisle, had 125 rushing yards, carried the ball 19 times. The only reason why I know that is because he texted it to me. All right.
I was gonna say, and then his passing stats were pretty good too. He went 10 for 17 for 116 and a touchdown. So
yeah, Boro played good.
Really good game overall.
Our homecoming. So homecoming W.
Also, Toby Klein, one-handed pick.
Oh,
One of the PSAC players of the week.
dude, crazy. But yeah, good stuff from QB1.
Boro moves to 3-3 on the season, I'm pretty sure. So
Yeah. All right, let's go through the rapid fire. Oh, so we also forgot to do the tiebreaker for Alex and Landon from week 3, so there's still no winner there yet. And guess what? Alex and Bryce tied, so we got to do 2 tiebreakers for week 4. So we got to do the tiebreaker for week 4 and tiebreaker for week 3. But AJ beat EJ, I beat Emma, and Landon beat Caden. So, and then week 5 it'll be Emma versus EJ, AJ versus Alex.
Yeah.
Landon versus myself, and Bryce versus Caden. And here is everybody's predictions right here. All right. Rapid fire.
Oh, this is the first week of bye week, so there's not a lot of games, huh?
Thursday. Thursday night. Oh. Bears versus Commanders.
Oh God! Wasn't this a primetime game last year too? This was a Thursday night game last year as well. Why is this a Thursday night game again? Commanders.
Duh.
He's writing it down so aggressively.
All right, Jags and Bills.
Ooh. This game was ugly last year. I'm going to go Bills, though. They're really hot.
I'm going to go Jags.
Yeah,
Duval. In London, I'm going to go Jags.
Oh, it's in Wembley? Yeah, it's a home game for them, basically.
All right, Texans and Falcons.
The Falcons can't possibly lose again, so I'm going to go with the Falcons.
Yeah, I'm going to go Falcons as well.
CJ, though.
Panthers and Lions.
Lions.
Yep, Dan Campbell.
Battle of the Kitties.
Yeah. Titans and Colts.
I hope the Titans win this one.
I'm going to go Colts.
Anthony Richardson.
Is he
dog.
Is he back?
Yeah, he played against
Okay.
L.A.
Giants and Dolphins.
Fins, baby.
Duh. Though they lost, but they still played well. They did play well, right? I didn't watch it. I could have sworn. I could have sworn I saw they played well. Saints and Patriots.
2 good defenses.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how good Derek Carr is going to be because of the AC joint sprain. So I'm going to go Patriots.
Yeah. Yep. Patriots. Ravens at Steelers. I'm going Ravens. The Steelers are not going to win this game.
It's a home game for the Steelers. No, yeah, Lamar's looked really good. I'm gonna go Ravens too.
The Steelers are not winning that game. Eagles and Rams.
Eagles.
Yeah, Eagles. Bengals and Cardinals. It better be the Bengals.
Watch, this is gonna be a 5-0 Bengals win.
You going Bengals?
Yeah, I'm going Bengals. What's that game? Jets, Broncos?
Yep. Chiefs, Vikings.
Chiefs, yeah.
Chiefs.
Yeah, honestly, genuinely, give me the Jets over the Broncos. Their defense is so bad with Vance Joseph as their defensive coordinator. They just made Justin Fields look like Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah, for real.
Also, Chase Claypool's not going to be in the game, so that automatically makes Justin Fields about 6 times better.
Yeah. Cowboys, 49ers.
Yeah. I'm going to... Ooh, wait.
Yeah, what about it? Is it cutting out? Is Alex's cutting out?
Oh, it's just off.
Oh, it's off.
Talk loud enough.
He talks loud enough.
Wow, one of our mics hasn't died in a long time.
Yeah, that's weird.
I'm going to go...
Because we're going to do the rain here soon. It's just going to...
I'm going to go Cowboys.
Cowboys? Oh.
Yep.
Oh. Fade to black now. Fade to black now so he doesn't regret it. Or so he regrets it. I almost swore again. All right. Packers, Raiders, Packers.
Yeah, Packers.
All right.
Pit Rant!
I'm going to say it. You're not ready for this. I'm going to say it. Pitt should move on from Pat Narduzzi.
I'm down. I'm
time.
so down.
It's time. Pat, and I'm going to be real. I'm going to be real honest here.
Hire Cliff Kingsbury.
Now wait. Now whoa. No. Pickett and Jordan Addison saved Narduzzi by winning the ACC championship. They saved Narduzzi's job. If you think about everything Pat Narduzzi has done as a head coach. Okay, he had a good year with Kenny Pickett his senior year. Last year was up and down. Now, here's the thing. After star players leave, Narduzzi does not know what to do. Nathan Peterman, James Conner leave. What happens next? Kenny Pickett, Jordan Addison, up and down this.
Why is the light messed up?
Okay. He was 11 for 22, 235 yards for 2 touchdowns. That's still not great. I don't care. Why is he, some of the balls he's throwing, first of all, is terrible. He can't get it to his receiver to save his life. And yet he's still the quarterback. Sibo Fleminster carried the ball 12 for 41. Not bad. He played well. He's been playing well. Ronnie Hammond was bad. 7 carries for 18 yards. Bud Means got the ball once, 75 yards. It was a good touchdown pass by Phil, but nope, did not throw it to him again. Sibo got the ball twice, 57 yards. Camonte Mumfield, 4 for 57. This is just a bad year for Pitt.
Bad year.
This is just a bad year for Pitt. And it's time to move on from Pat Narduzzi. It's been long enough. He always clamors, oh, Pitt's going to win they're going for national championships. How? Please explain how. You don't know what you're doing after you have players that carry you through the entire season the next year. You don't have a plan. It's clear you didn't have a plan at quarterback. It's time.
It is time.
It's time to let Narduzzi go. He's just terrible right now. He really is. And you cannot convince me otherwise. Richie, where are we at time? I thought I'd have more for this rant, but I really don't feel like talking about it anymore. 32? All right. You got anything else to say?
Nope.
All right. Next week, ladies and gentlemen, there's going to be 2 shows, actually. Maybe 2 shows. Because Sean obviously was not here tonight. NBA Media Day, so he was not able to appear. He should be here next week. Maybe upload the Sean interview on the 11th, maybe? Because that's technically our 1-year anniversary. But next Friday, it is our live show, anniversary show, 7 o'clock, right here on the NBRO Now channel. So, here we go.
Yep.
Send us home.
Good night, America.
Boom.